Hello, and I hope we're well. Today we're going to be looking at composition! So one thing I'm trying to look at is alternating between stuff you can do on just your smartphone, or a little point and shoot like this, or going all the way up to a full-on DSLR, depending on what you want to shoot. So today we're going to look at three aspects of composition. Now, fun fact, humans like threes. So we've got the first bit, which is rule of thirds, which we'll touch base on it more. We've then got angles, and then we've then got something called the puppet effect. So the first aspect we're going to be looking at is the rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds is very simple, and it's a way of dividing your frame into threes. Very appropriately named. So you take your grid, and most cameras, smartphones, anything like that, you'll be able to overlay your camera with your grid as a way of being able to frame your composition to better it's appealing to the eye. I tend to like to shoot with something off to one side, but generally speaking, we as humans, we find things in thirds appealing, whether that's partly in the frame. So one thing that is important to take note when you're using rule of thirds is something called headspace. So if we have a look at the photo here, you can see that his head's on the right, he's looking straight at the camera, but at the same time there's loads of room in the image. He doesn't feel cramped, he doesn't feel like he's looking straight at the wall of the photo. You'll see that here with the lemur looking off to the right, the lemur's on the left hand side, and then the next image is of a cat on the right hand side looking towards the left. That's not to say that an image character or a subject can't look outside of the image, that's not true, but it depends on what you're photographing as to whether it kind of works with the shot, but it's something to bear in mind when you are using this. The second thing we're going to look at is angles. Angles are incredibly important when you're trying to convey a story. Photography in its purest form is documentation, but at the same time, how we're trying to convey a message. Every aspect of photograph is what we want to see them, and if we're trying to convey a message, how does that come across? So are we photographing a majestic animal? If that's the case, we don't want to be shooting down there because it's going to make it look small and almost prey-like. If we want to make it look magnificent and grand, we want to be shooting from eye level or lower to make it give that sense of real larger than life persona. If we're shooting some flowers, I like to try and orient them on the ground, just try and get low and make it look like you're actually on that level to get there. If we're shooting a portrait, are we going to shoot above, or are we going to shoot below them? Are you trying to make someone look cute and small? If that's the case, you want to be shooting above them. If you're trying to make someone look big and larger than life, like I said, you want to kind of shoot from eye level, if not lower, potentially, to see what you can get from that. Composition and kind of angles are incredibly important. It's something that's quite often underlooked. So our last part we're going to focus on is what's called, or can be known as, the puppet effect, or also known as long, medium and close-up shots. So this is actually how far our subject is away from the camera. So you're looking at me right now, you can see that basically it's the top part of my body in shot, but you can photograph something at a distance, which will give you more of the background and more in context with the surroundings. How are you doing to tell that story? Are you trying to get someone just close up with a nice portrait? Are you trying to get rid of as much of the background as possible? Are you focusing on them, or are you putting them in a situation where actually it's someone wandering around in the city or someone walking around, and that in itself is telling part of the story? That'll allow you then to kind of mix that up and really give that message that you're trying to give. And if you're combining all these three aspects, you're going to get some really good photos going on. Now, of course, there are no rules to a degree. You can bend and you can break them, and you can kind of elaborate to kind of do what you want to do. Ultimately, as long as you like it, that's the most important thing. It might be the case where you like it now, and in 10 years' time you look and go, "Oh, that was horrible." I know, I've done that. But it's really about what you like at the time, and kind of just growing and trying different things as well. I tend to stick with one focal length because I'm a creature of habit. I love a 50mm, which on this older body is a 75mm equivalent. Great for portraits, but your focal length will play an factor in this as well. If you're using a wide-angle lens, you are naturally going to get more of your background in. So how is that going to affect your composition? Do you want to include that, or do you want more of your subject? If that's the case, you're going to have to bring it in closer. How are you going to incorporate these details in? The main thing to have a focus on is your rule of thirds, or your guideline of thirds, your angles, and how you're using it relative to your subject, as well as your distance. Is it a long shot? Is it a close-up shot? Is it a medium shot? Now, when I say a close-up shot, I'm talking where I am right now of closer. A medium shot will be kind of basically from the waist up, and a long shot would be pretty much the entire person, if not maybe slightly cutting off their feet. How are we incorporating these in to tell a story? And as we're going through, you'll see photos of this. I'll stick on the end as well.